Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of our Pep Talk podcast. In this episode, we're going to be looking at another of our questions here. We have this question from science again, and this time our unit is the environment. The objective says observe, collect, and record information regarding the interacting factors within an environment. Now, what type of item is this? This is a selected response. So you're going to select the appropriate response or responses. And this is in the form of a table grid. Okay, last time we did selected response, but that was a order match. Okay, let's look at this one. It says here, a student exposed each of 5 tomato seedlings, so these are small tomato plants, to different temperatures for 5 weeks. At the end of the 5 weeks, the student recorded the height reached by each tomato plant. The table shows the effects of different temperatures on tomato plant growth. All right, let's go here. Okay. So here we have tomato plants. So we have a table here, and we have rows that go horizontal, and we have columns that go vertical. So we have one column here that deals with the tomato plants, and we have plant A, B, C, D, E, and F. Then we have the temperatures associated with each plant, and we have the plant height in centimeter. Now, the temperature would be measured by an instrument called a thermometer. All right, so hold. Let me see if we can get our video on the thermometer going here. All right. So we have the thermometer video, and let's look at that.
In this lesson, we are going to learn about reading a thermometer. So here we have a thermometer, and this thermometer has some liquid in it that goes up the thermometer as it gets warmer and falls down as it gets cooler.
All right, so that concept is very important when understanding how hot or cold something is. So if the thermometer reading is high, it is hot, and if the thermometer reading is low, it is cold. So if I open my freezer and put a thermometer inside, I should get a lower reading. So it should be closer to 0 than 100. If I take it outside and put it on the basketball court and allow it to stay there at midday for a few minutes, then the reading should be what? It should be high. It should be going towards 100. So once we understand that, then we are better able to appreciate the readings that will come next. So let's continue with the video.
And this thermometer is measuring degrees in Celsius, okay, not in Fahrenheit, but in Celsius. They're
Again, for us, we are using the metric system, so we would say degrees Celsius and not degrees Fahrenheit.
different. All right, so here we have this thermometer, and this liquid has gone up past the 0, past the 5, past the 10, up to the 15 mark. So we say that the temperature is 15 degrees Celsius. Okay, let's try a different one. Here is another, well, it's the same thermometer, but the temperature has gone down some. It's gone down, and now it's up here at this 5 mark. So the temperature is 5 degrees Celsius. And it's important to put the Celsius on there so you know which, if you're using Celsius or Fahrenheit. Okay, do a couple more real quick. This one is at 0. This is 0 degrees Celsius. We write 0 degrees Celsius. And here we have, this one is up to 10 degrees Celsius. And one more. Ooh, it's gone way up. This one's gone way up, all the way up to 25. So this is 25 degrees Celsius. And that's the end of our lesson on reading a thermometer.
Okay, so let's go back to our question. All right, hold. All right, good. So back to the question now. So again, one has to be, looking at the information presented in the table. So we have plant A. It was exposed to a temperature of 12 degrees Celsius and it grew 24 centimeters. Now, 12 is cool. All right. Plant B, that's a little bit warmer because it's 19. So it would have been rising. And look at the difference between 12 and 19 in terms of the plant growth. So this was 24, but now this has gone to 121 centimeters. Plant C, this was at 23 and it went all the way up to 150 centimeters. Plant D was exposed to 28 and it went down to 124. Plant E went to 34. It did not grow any at all, zero. So it's, you know, probably dead or, waiting for some perfect conditions to come out. But for all intents and purposes, this plant is dead. So here we go. It says indicate using a tick whether the following statements are supported or not supported by the results of the investigation. So we have to use this information to say if the statements are supported or they are not supported. All right. So let's go through the table once more. I would recommend you go through this question more than once to ensure that what you are looking for is that you find the answers that you're looking for. So again, plant A 12, 24, plant B 19, 121, plant C 23, 150, plant D 28, 124, plant E 34 and 0. So let's go. Plant E would be exposed to the warmest or the hottest temperature, while plant A would have been exposed to the coolest temperature of all of these. All right. And then now, based on what I am seeing here, 150, plant C would have been exposed to the most ideal temperature. All right, that's a fair conclusion. So let's go to our statements and see if we can determine what they are. It says here, temperatures below 13 degrees Celsius will limit plant growth. So below 13 degrees Celsius, yes, I would want to say that, right? That it would limit the plant growth because we notice that the cooler it gets, the lower the growth is. So here it is, 38, 34, right? That is too hot. But 28, we see some growth. 23, the most growth. And from 23 going downward, the growth what? It decreases. So on one side, it is too warm. On the other side, it's too cool. So I think that this is supported. It will limit plant growth. So we will tick because they asked us for a tick. So we will tick supported here. Temperature does not affect plant growth. So is this statement supported by this? No, because based on what I'm seeing here, plant growth is affected by the temperature. So I would put not supported here. So let's make our mark here. Okay, that's not supported. And we go now to the last one. Plants will grow above 124 centimeters in temperatures higher than 36 degrees Celsius. Let me go back and look at this. So it's 36. If at 34 it was 0 and 36 is higher than 34 and there was no growth here, you're telling me that it's going to grow above 124? No, that's not supported. All right, so we're going to make our little mark here. And we need to put clear, if there's a tick, give it a tick. All right. So again, guys, to wrap this one up, we have to understand the principles that they're talking about here. We have to understand that in the environment, we have the interactions between the different factors that will result in different things happening. So we have cause and effect. If it is too cool, plants won't grow well. However, if it is too warm, they won't grow either. We have to have the perfect mix between heat and what? Cool, in order to bring about the proper growing conditions. It can't be too hot, can't be too cool. Similar to the earth being where it is, it's not too far away from the sun, so it's too cold, or it's not too close to the sun where it's too hot. All right, guys, take care. Review the question, remember the item types, and I'll see you in the next episode.